Good morning, tubers of the... Good afternoon, tubers of the RC Universe. Welcome to RC Heli-Check UK for another instalment on the channel. It has been a few weeks since I last posted a video. I've had some things that I needed to get sorted out, which I've now finally done, thank God. And it has allowed me time to come back here and produce content for you guys. Rich is flying in the background. RC Helicopter Richard, that was his Tron that you could hear going there. But we have got a series of 3 videos that we are going to be doing, and today is the start of the first one. A little bit more on that in a second. Let's get cracking. What we're actually going to be doing in this series, guys, we're going to be looking at 3 different helicopters, and it is what I'm going to call the small series, because all 3 of them are basically small helicopters. They're all scale, but they've all got their own individual different subjects that they're going to be involved with. The first one, which is today's video, we are going to be looking at a 450 size MD5. I can't talk without my hands. We've got a 450 size MD500, which, what's so different about that? You've already got one, yes or no? But this one has got a 5 blade, not a 2 or a 3 or a 4, but a 5 blade rotor head. And it's going to be a new scenario for me, because I have never balanced the blades on a 5 bladed rotor head before. So that's what this one is going to be all about, including fitting the mechanics and getting it all set up with the electrics and whatnot. I've got a donor 450 helicopter, and out of the 2 I'm looking to make one decent Trex 450 with this 5 blade rotor head. The second in the series is going to be on a 500 size 350 Equil. I can never pronounce it. Equil. It's a 350 helicopter with 500 size mechanics in. Again, Trex. The thing that we're going to be doing with that one is that we will be changing over the rotor head. It is currently fitted with a fly-barred helicopter head, and I don't like fly bars because they get into this pendulum effect that looks really stupid and you can't get out of it. So we'll be changing that over to a DFC head or a fly-barless head, and then fitting it into the fuselage. The fuselage needs a bit of work doing to it. The vanes on the back have been broken, that kind of thing. And then the third in the series, which is going to be the interesting one, save the best till last, as they say, we have got an ESC 135 450 size model. And the difference with this one is, again, it will have a 5 bladed rotor head and a fenestron. I need to find the fenestron for it, because they are like rocking horse. So, but I'm determined to get a hold of a fenestron for this model, because it is actually designed for a fenestron. It's got the hole there and everything there to fit a fenestron in it. So that will be the third one in the series. They're all small helicopters, but they're all going to look great, guys. So let's get on with this first one and do this MD500. We're going to go through a colour change. We're going to tidy up the little bits of damage that's on the model, and then we'll have a look at the mechanics, seeing what electrics we're going to put in, what motor we're going to put in, and then finally trying to set up this 5 bladed rotor head. So let's go and have a look. Before we get started, guys, this is more of a message for all our fellow YouTubers out there. Just be careful when you're doing videos, guys. If you've got music playing in the background, make sure you turn it down so that nobody can hear it. I got my wrist slapped by YouTube. Luckily, no fines or anything like that, but I had music playing in the background. People could hear it, and basically there was a copyright infringement. However, the people that I was playing allowed videos to be played on YouTube. So I got lucky with that one, guys. But if you are going to be a YouTuber, or if you are a YouTuber, just when you're playing music in the background, guys, to keep yourself going and all that kind of crap like I do, make sure you turn it down while you're doing your content, because you'll get slapped. Anywho, back to what this subject is all about. This is mess. This is basically what we're looking at. This is today's subject. Some of you will have recognised this. I have had one of these before, and I've repainted it in a red, black and black scheme basically. But that has gone now, hasn't crashed, it went to somebody else, and I had this one along with the other two helicopters that we've been talking about. But what we're looking at doing is making one decent set of mechanics out of all this hodgepodge of mess. Here I've got 6,000 blades, 3 booms, ESCs, motors, loads of gears, loads of servos, but this is the one thing that is definitely going on. This is the 5-blade Rotorhead that I was telling you about. Pretty crappy colour, to be fair. It's a Copter X or X-Copter Rotorhead. I've had a look through it all and whatnot. It actually looks pretty damn cool, and it all works fine. We've got a swash plate there, and yeah, so that's definitely going on. We've got another one here that's going to be going on the EC 135 when that comes up in the 3rd instalment. But we're going to look at all this crap. Like I say, here there's a lot of bits and pieces. There's probably enough parts here to make 2 complete helicopters up, but I'm going to do a decent set of mechanics to go into that, and then we'll put the 5-blade head on it. This is going to get a new colour scheme. It is basically going to be like a yellowy green colour, similar colours that I used on the Spectre's tail boom, purely simply because I've got all that paint left still, so I might as well use it on this. Give it a nice colour scheme, whack some decals on it, make it look pretty, be nice and visible in the sky. So we'll be doing that probably first. Actually no, we won't. We'll get the mechanics sorted out first, because without the mechanics it ain't going to fly, is it? You know what I mean? So we'll get that sorted first, build up the mechanics, come up with whatever we can plan wise, and then we'll fit them into that after it has been painted, decaled, sealed, ready to go. Let's crack on. Right guys, that's everything that's left, and there's enough stuff in there to make a second 450, so we'll have that for another channel, another time on the channel I should say. But this is what we're going to go with. It needs a clean, this does, because it's got more dust. It's got dust on it, and you know I don't like dust. But I'm going to swap out a few parts. I'm going to take this boom off, take the control arm off. I'm going to replace it with the black boom, that control arm as well. I've gone with this one because the actual head rotates anti-clockwise, and the tail rotor is on that side, which is the right side for the for this kind of helicopter. So yeah, these are the blades I'm going to use. I've never used these before. They're a bit doing, but I've been assured by the person that gave them to me that they're great blades. So I'm going to give them a try, see what happens, and see how they work, because they are scale blades for an MD500. Those are the servos going to go for. We've got a a DS 455 tail rotor servo and 3 DS 415M cyclic servos. We've got a micro beast with a satellite, 2 new tail blades, tail rotor is metal one, and it's going to be a torque drive. So we're eliminating the belt drive because I hate belt drives and they're a pain in the ass when it comes to putting them in a scale fuselage. And we've got the old Mania X 2200 3S, which we're going to be using, and we have an Eligny, a RCE BL50X electronic speed controller, and a Scorpion. I can't remember what the KV is on this one, to be honest with you. How about looking at it on the side, because it says it. This is a Scorpion 2010 KV 2221 motor, so we'll be using that. So it's rated up to 6S. If I wanted to, I can go up to 6S with this helicopter. This is rated up to 6S as well. I'm going to change the pinion because of the drive on this. That's got a slant drive pinion on it, and the drive on this, as you can see, is 90 degrees. It's not a slant drive. So I've got the pinion. Where's it gone? Isn't it a pinion? Where'd it go? I had it here just a minute ago. I put it next to motor so I couldn't lose. There it is. Oh, that one. That's the pinion which I'm going to be using, which will be a perfect fit. So that's all the stuff we're going to go with, guys. So let's build this up. I've got a set of skids and boom supports, towel, boom, and vertical fin and horizontal fin as well, so we can test the mechanics with the 450 skids, and then we'll get it all test flown as it is before we put it into the 500. So let's get building. I doubt we're going to get flying it today because I didn't get up here until midday. It's like 3:05 already, and as you can see, it's peeing it down rain and it's blowing a hula, and as you know, I suffer bad with so but hopefully tomorrow we get it finished and we'll be able to give it a test for all the weather be a bit better. It's looking better, but at the moment it's pretty dank, dire and disgusting. So anyway, let's crack on the build. When doing something like this, guys, it's always a good idea when you take things apart is to make sure that everything's all good and going the right way as it should, and that it's all nice and smooth. I mean, as you can see there, this is nice and free and it locks where it's supposed to. Like I say, this is another one. This is another one. This is one where it rotates anti-clockwise on the rotor head, so you have to swap the bearing over so that it rotates the other way. But this is why, like I say, I'm going to go with this because it's already in here, it's all ready to go, and it means that the rotor head will be going in a scale direction and the tail rotor will be on the side of the boom, which it should be for a scale helicopter as well. So, but yeah, make sure things are lubed up and make sure stuff's all nice and clean. If you're going to take something apart, and then it just saves any hassle later on when you come to do maintenance work. Right, I've done something weird. I didn't want to plant the ESC on the side of the fuselage. No, that's not right. On the side of the airframe, because, well, because it's going in a scale fuselage and it's quite a chunky ESC, I didn't want it to be sticking out too much. It'd have probably got in anyway, but the other thing I needed to watch as well was the position of the wires. I didn't want the wires to come anywhere near this, so I got a plate from another helicopter and I basically bolted it onto here, and that's where it's going to sit. I'm going to make another plate which will sit on here, which will stick out like a T shape, which the 3S will go onto, and then that way it'll keep the centre of gravity quite far forward, because from the last 450 that I had, one of these like and that, it was quite sad heavy and I needed a fair bit of lead in the nose. Excuse me. So that's the plan. I'm just going to put boom on back, and I'm going to have to make some kind of plate as well to stick the fly boiler system on the back as well, because I want that on the back of there. So, because like, I mean, once these mechanics are all set up with the fly boiler system and it's put inside the helicopter, it shouldn't need touching again. So anyway, let's get on and I'll put you back in lapsey timing mode. Well, back with it guys, we have the tail boom fitted, we have the tail rotor servo fitted and the tail rotor, but I've still got to do a few bits and pieces on it. So we're going to time-lapse mode. I need to put the undercarriage on to give myself a bit more stability with the model, and then I've got to drill a hole for that there so that can go in it basically. So that's next. That's going to be fun. Hey ho. Anyway, lapsey timing mode. Okay guys, we've got the skids and the tail all now fitted. As a lot of you have probably realised, this is an old 450 helicopter. It is not a brand new one. I mean, look at it, it's ancient like me. It's got no skin. But yeah, I mean, it's going in a scale fuselage, so as long as it works and as long as it flies, who gives a shit, you know what I mean? That's the old, you know. Yes, it used to be a flyby helicopter, and you know, and it's been converted obviously to flyby. But the whole point of this project is to get a 450 in a 500 size No, to get a full 50 size in a 500 scale fuselage, MD500 scale fuselage with a 5-blade rotor head. So yeah, it's coming along, bits and pieces. I've made modifications. Tail rotor servo I've had to fit down here, and obviously because the tail rotors go all the way around, this is on a nice curve. It doesn't foul up the tail servo, it still works nice and smoothly. I will have to secure these down, stop them from moving about, but as long as they're in the positions that they are, there is actually no friction against the actual things themselves. Look at it working its way up. But yeah, so those are going to be just secured in with sellotape, not sellotape, tape basically, to keep them in place. But then once they go in the fuselage, they'll be secured a lot more better. So what we do now, I don't know, Rob, you tell me. Servos and rotor head. Servos, rotor head and support boom arms, boom biddings. That's the next bit. So more lapsey timing mode. Now here's where the fun begins. Like I said to you at the beginning of the video, I have never done anything like this before. Not a 5-blade rotor head anyway. But according to what I can see on the swash plate, which obviously came with a head, it is a Copter X rotor head. I don't even know if they're any good or not, but it's quite rigid. There's no play in it at all. It's smooth. We've got an anti-rotation, there's an anti-rotation bracket there, and I've got three different lengths on the links, which is because the position of the servos on this helicopter has the cyclic side underneath one another, so you'll have one on the top and one on the bottom, so the links are obviously going to be different lengths because of it. However, let's get this thing fitted and see what it's like to set up, because again I don't know whether it'd be different with the Beast X, setting this up on a Beast X, because normally with a Beast X you're either using 2 or 4 bladed rotor heads, but I'm assuming that it's going to be the same. Anyway, let's have a look. I'll get it fitted and I'll come back to you when it's done. Well, I'm not going to lie guys, this is oh dear. I found that the head is really good. There's nothing wrong with the head at all. I mean, it's nice and firm and, you know, very, very precise. There's nothing wrong with the head. The problem is the swash plate. Now the swash plate again is fine. There's nothing wrong with the swash plate at all, but the ball links that are on there were quite stiff, and I felt resistance in moving the swash plate about. So taking it apart, myself and RC Helicopter Richard looking at it, we realised that the ball links at the bottom, they're probably the ones that came with it, but they're really, really tight. So I'm currently going through the process of changing over to slightly smaller balls. Where have I said that before? Oh yeah. And hoping that it'll be resistance free and make it a lot more smoother, because I do not want to put any strain on the servos with them struggling to fight the resistance that I'm getting. So I'm in the process of doing that at the moment, so I'll get that sorted and then I'll come back to you when I've done it to let you know the end result. Right guys, I have it fitted in, and basically what I've done, I've gone with ball links and ball link connectors from an Align Trex 450, which has now made it a lot more smoother and looser. The only thing is, there is, and I'm assuming it is because it's a 5-blade head, and it doesn't need that much pitch, being a 5-blade. It's kind of like, that's the maximum that it'll go, and it starts to get a little bit tight, like it's spring loaded. I mean, it's given me probably about, I'd say about 5-6 degrees of positive pitch, and coming all the way down, you're looking at about 8 degrees, which I don't need that much, obviously. But I don't think you're going to need that much pitch on this, so I'm hoping I'm not going to need to put too much strain on the servos when I go up in pitch, in positive pitch, because like I say, it feels quite springing. If I hold it at a certain angle, then I'm guessing it might be a little bit strenuous on the servos. I did think whether there was something actually wrong with the head, you know, whether it's designed wrong, or whether I mean, these ball links here are really long, and I wondered, like, if there were shorter ball links, whether there'd be as much resistance when it comes to positive pitch. I don't know whether to try it or not. I might do and see what happens, but if I do that, that means I'm going to have to shorten the length of all the arms, and I ain't got that much thread on them, to be fair. Right, guys, as an experiment, I've changed the ball links on the blade grip arms. These were the ones that were on there. I don't know if you can see that, because GoPro's always crap when it comes to close-ups, but look at the difference in length. There's the other ones, they come to where my fingernail is, and these are a good, I'd say, 10mm shorter than the ones that were originally in it. And by doing it now, I've got no springiness in the head at all. It is all nice, and it all moves as a rotor head should do, as far as I'm concerned. So that means now I'm not going to get any resistance on the servos at all, in full positive and negative pitch, and I'm happy as Larry. I don't know why they did them that long, to be honest with you, because all it does is it spreads out the arms, so obviously it increases the angle when you're going up, and I think that's what causes the springiness. But this, much better, much better. Right, start installing the servos now. Back in a bit. There we go, guys. Servos have now been fitted. What a ball ache it was. I've had to make mounts and all kinds of bits and pieces to get these servos mounted properly, but on the good note is, with the servos centered, we have got a little bit of adjustment to make on the elevator servo at the back. It's slightly down, oops, but the other two, they look to be gone, so I've just got to make this one longer, this link at the back for the elevator, and then hopefully it'll be relatively central, so when it comes to doing the fly ballast unit, it ain't going to take much to sort it out. Oh man alive, this has taken ages. Right, what's next? Fit the fly ballast unit, get it all set up. This is where the fun begins. Right, I'm not going to bother doing that, guys. Actually, do I or don't I? Because I've had a few people requesting to show how the Beast X, or Micro Beast I should say, is set up. Oh, what hell, let's go for it, let's give it a go. Right, back in a sec, guys. Right, one thing, like I said, this head has got is a counterclockwise rotating head, so it'll be the same as the real thing. I mean, full-size helicopters, they seem to rotate counterclockwise, which means the tail rotor is on the left, as you know. I've got these blades. I've never used these before. They came with a head, and they're they're glass reinforced plastic, but I've been told that they're okay. But because this is the first time I've used a 5-bladed rotor head, I didn't really want to use carbon fibre blades anyway. So this is going to be a test to see what these blades are actually like, and see what they sound like, and see how well they perform. However, for me to do that, I need to balance them, and like a knob, I forgot me weighing machine, because they're only small blades. The scales that I've got here won't work. Well, they will work, but they won't register accurately the weight of the blade. I need something that does it in 0.00 and all that crap. So I'm going to leave it here for this video, guys. This is going to be a part 1 and part 2 for this one, because I've spent all day building this helicopter and getting it all sorted so that it will work. So the next video we'll be looking at balancing these blades, setting up the electrics, the Beast X as well, the Micro Beast, sorry, and then sorting out the fuselage and doing the fuselage. But in between that, obviously, we're going to be test flying this as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your support. Sorry it's been such a long time since I've uploaded a video. It's been a few weeks, like I say. I've had things I needed to get sorted out. But we have got, like I explained at the beginning of the video, a fair bit to come in the next month or two. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves.